G'day, hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Ask Simmo. Thanks to ECU, thanks to everyone who wrote in. But firstly, Simmo, I speak to you. I feel like I've spoken to you before the last 3 or 4 games at Optus Stadium.
Yes.
The feeling before the game, how was it? And was the performance? Did they correlate?
No. I mean, I think we've started well this year. So the pre-game speech is obviously working, and then it's the quarter time.
Do you still have themes?
I mean, no. I shouldn't joke about it because it's serious. We've got some issues with momentum. So there's things we do every week to try and get the best out of our players, but I don't think that's the reason why we're starting well. I think there's a genuine belief, and then when we're challenged, trying to maintain that belief and stop some momentum from a coaching point of view is something we really got to work on, because that second quarter we got blown away and it was really hard to chase the game back.
The themes thing, I think this probably allows fans and the audience to get a little bit more insight than maybe perhaps full-blown media interviewing you, even though I'm well down that path, Simmo. The themes for games, like, so my time with you as a player, used to come in with a theme pre-game. Do you still do that? You must have a deep bag of tricks.
It's been a few years. Probably stories rather than themes, mate. Like, you know, and quite often it'd be through my son, Owen, who's growing up. You know, the last 10 years, he's gone from in grade 4 to in year 11. So I think the stories that you guys could relate to is his journey. So that was all part of it. So he's now in year 11, so it's a bit more serious. So the stories aren't as connectable because it's a bit more about school. But yeah, I think they're the ones you were talking about. Yeah.
Last one on the game. What's presenting the biggest challenge for you as a coaching staff game? Don't worry about injuries, who's available, different things. What's the biggest issue for you as a coaching staff for the players on game day?
Well, it's dealing with the side that's, we're missing some soldiers. So getting the guys to stand up and play for 4 quarters is probably the biggest challenge at the moment. The belief piece is something that, you know, what comes first, evidence or belief? So the evidence suggests that our good quarters we're holding our own, and the bad quarters are really bad. So that's probably the biggest challenge for us at the moment, and winning's a habit, and we haven't won consistently for a long time. So yeah, tapping into that with our leaders, tapping into momentum, how to stop it from a coaching point of view is something we're working hard on, and trying to reward some wins here and there. So yeah, that's the biggest challenge at the moment.
That's good. Let's get into the questions from the fans. Teresa Hicks asks, with all the external pressure, what sort of fun, non-footy activities are the boys doing to keep their morale high?
Well, that's very important, because culturally we've always been pretty good at that, as you know, and making sure, I mean, we're a footy club, so there's the outside noise and there's the sanctuary within the 4 walls. So how we go about supporting the players externally is really important, and then what the players do to keep their energy and fun and maintain some perspective is really important. So our leaders, and you probably know who they are, that try and keep things light, the old fines or whatever you do that's behind closed doors, they get together socially. I think that's very important when it comes to the fabric of a footy club. So that's still ticking over. I think the locker room's still tight. Culturally, they're quite strong and resilient. It's just been a challenge on field.
Is there a pinball machine downstairs?
There is one downstairs.
Is there?
Yes.
That was not here when I was here.
Well, we got it to replace you.
That's pretty good, actually, from you, mate. Kaiser asks, what was the rationale behind Jones's return to the forward line this week before he got injured?
Yeah, we're lacking some forward presence at the moment. So with Patrici Seaton going out of the side with a pretty significant cork, he hasn't been able to come back. And then Long and Cripps and Liam Ryan, we've only really got Petruccelli as a guy who trained with us pre-season as a forward. So we've had some mids go through that role, and then we've only had 26 available, so it's not like there's been a lot of choice about who we play. So we've got more backs than forwards at the moment, so we thought we'd change the team around a bit on the weekend. Mixed results, to be honest, but that was the cards we were dealt.
You would have been encouraged by Jack Petruccelli's time in the midfield on the weekend?
Yeah, well, after half time, we thought we'd try and ignite the boys a little bit with a change of position, and he did a really good job, especially in the third. He's part of we won the quarter, I think, by 10 points. We had some good entries, had plenty of the ball, and he was a big part of that.
Yep, very good. Miguel Sanchez asked, Andrew Gaff seemed to line up at half forward a lot for centre bouncers. Is that something we can expect to see more of this year?
It's a bit of the same before. That the balance of the side's probably not exactly how you'd like it, but there's not much of there's no wriggle room, mate. So, emergencies are rucks. It's tough to get a balanced team. So Gaff at the moment is put in that position, along with the West and sometimes O'Neill and these guys who predominantly are on ballers or wings. That the balance of the side just pushes them there. And Gaffy's got a bit of flexibility, so he played him in that role. I thought he was okay with it. So it won't be the last time we do it.
Very good. Banana Fritters asks, Harry Barnett a chance to debut?
Not yet, no. We are throwing the kids in the deep end, but he's a young developing ruckman, so his form probably doesn't suggest that's the right time, but he's on his own down there at Waffle Eagles, so I can understand how hard it would be for him as well. So he's in the squad, so he's not too far off.
I was almost in the squad.
You were? No, you
I
weren't.
wasn't.
But the reality is he needs some time to work on his craft.
Yep, very good. Long John Silver asks, besides from your coaching commitments, what's on the to-do list while in Tassie?
No, there's nothing. Might have a couple of beers with the coaches. We haven't done that for a while, so I might go for dinner the night before. But outside of that, there's not much on.
The ping pong table's been added, as well as long sleeve jumpers. I believe they're available to players now. Is that correct?
They are. Well, I did see Simmo wearing it, and he did model off the Indigenous new jumper, which you've got well done there. And I think the top is the men's program and the bottom is the women's program, and it's one of the better jumpers I've seen. So
it looks great.
We'll roll that out on Thursday, and you'll see it this weekend. So I forgot what the question was. I just bridged it towards.
I'm filthy that I didn't used to get to wear a long sleeve jumper. Now
that's
boys
right.
can.
Yeah. Oh, that's not my call, mate. I've got my own problems.
Okay, fair enough. That's it for this week's episode of Ask Simmo. Thanks to ECU. Good luck on the long flight to Tassie, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Guy.